1939, they ride through the Western Gate. The strangers arouse curiosity. Very few Europeans had ever set foot inside this closed world. Krauser, the cameraman, is fascinated by everyday scenes resembling life in medieval Europe. The strangers move within the realm of the God King, Reting Rinpoche. Schaefer sets out to win over the Tibetan leaders. The expedition members master the complicated rules of Tibetan etiquette. They discover they have much in common.
We came as ambassadors of mutual understanding. Since the swastika is also the highest and most sacred symbol for us Germans, our visit is an example of the meeting of Western and Eastern swastikas in friendship and peace.
At an audience at the Tibetan court, Schaefer receives a letter addressed to His Highness Mr. Hitler, King of the Germans. May you be blessed with physical well-being, with serene peace and good deeds. Greetings from a divine ruler to the Führer in Berlin. In the powerful Tibetan aristocracy, Schaefer sees a role model for a political system in Germany.
They are ahead of all the rulers on this earth in that they are real kings, absolute leaders, often violent, but usually just. Their way of life is proud and manly.
Schaefer describes Tibetan horsemen as models for elite SS troops, an idea that would appeal to Himmler. But Schaefer spends much time absorbing Tibetan religion. 50 years later, he still has vivid memories of witnessing a shaman predict the future.
These are some of the few independently filmed images of the riots in Lhasa, Tibet. The shots captured by 24-year-old Australian tourist Mike Smith, giving a rare insight into the recent unrest and the Chinese response.
People need to see this man.
This idea that he's a humble spiritual man with just a robe and a bowl and a prayer bead isn't really what the Dalai Lama is all about. He headed a social system that was exploitative, terribly unequal, and terribly brutal.
As the State Department internal memo reveals, the Dalai Lama at one time took $180,000 a year from the CIA for his living expenses, and $1.5 million a year from the spy agency to finance Tibetan guerrilla operations against the Chinese, which included running a covert guerrilla training center in Colorado. Maybe they were non-violent covert guerrillas.
Violence and telling lies, cheating, these I believe basically against human nature.
And so we sort of sat there for a while and looked at sort of the scene going on there, and then headed down the street towards the other end of town, which is where our hotel was, where the smoke was coming from, which is basically where the riot was happening. We're in the middle of Lhasa, and the people are going crazy, rolling over cars, lighting them on fire, smashing into Chinese shops. Down the other end of the street, the Chinese are waiting for them. They blocked off the road. This is where the riot started, and down the other end is where the Chinese are waiting for them.
They're shooting them like dogs. Yeah. They're shooting them like dogs.